Hello and welcome back to another episode of the HRER podcast, where we delve into the world of HR, emergencies and scandals. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to HRER on your favourite podcast platform.
Get ready for scandalous stories, lessons learned, and a generous dose of advice for HR professionals for navigating the HR landscape.
Our goal here is not just to entertain, but also to help you learn from the topics we touch on in order to save your business from its own emergency. I inadvertently struck the car behind me, which was parked. I didn't notice it. It pipped a bit too late. Like, it pipped literally as I hit the car, which is still my fault, obviously. I am at work. How am I liable?
When we talk about accidents at work, when we have incidents, automatically I think there's almost that, it's not a problem, it's a health and safety issue, but invariably it does often fall with HR. People should be reporting near misses. So if something small happens or nearly happens, we should be reporting these things. For God's sake. I left you both unsupervised for 5 minutes. Just before we start, protect your business from the risk of tribunal, reduce legal costs, and save yourself from HR headaches with our Heroes software and employment law consultancy services.
God, it's something I really do miss, because obviously I can't eat pies now. Like, it's one of the things. I used to love a pucker pie.
No, these were real baked on site. None of this ship them in frozen and cook them.
That's Wigan though, isn't it? You get the cultural centre of pies.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to HRER.
I think I sighed over the top of you then.
Did you?
I think
As
so.
if you were just like not happy to be here. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is take 2 of the intro, because Alyssa sighed over me for the first one, didn't you?
We've been tired today, haven't we?
Very disappointed in
but
me.
there was a
Yeah, we haven't got we haven't really got like an example today to discuss. It's more of a personal event, personal to these premises, personal to me. It's related to everyone really in the building. So I'm going to tell this story, because there's a bit written up. I'll tell it. I think we just finished our first podcast.
Can I just say, you're literally making this sound like it was the most traumatic event that ever happened to you.
Oh, it was. I'm just gonna pull victim cards out of every single gap in my body. You know.
Weren't you responsible?
I was responsible. It was my fault predominantly.
Carry on.
It was the first time we'd finished recording the podcast. I was pretty amped up, maybe. Relieved, amped up, a blend of the two.
You were very excited to start the podcasting. I remember it was something that you said you'd always wanted to do.
God, don't embarrass me.
No, you had. You were dead excited.
I did say that, yeah.
And because I remember when Michael told you that you could be the co-host, and you were like beside yourself.
He asked me. He didn't tell me. He was like, "Do you want to do I think you'd be good at it." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah. I remember you saying to me, "You're like, I've always wanted to do a podcast."
I have. It's quite a big deal, isn't it? Like, people value our words.
Tolerate them.
Yeah, but they will spend time listening.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I don't think I've even told you this. One of my best friends, Kit, one of her friends.
Yeah.
She went for a coffee with her in the morning, I think. And she asked Kit, like, "Oh, do you listen to Ollie's podcast?"
Yeah.
And Kit was like, "Well, no, but you do, don't you?" Because obviously she asked.
Yeah.
And every time she walks her dog, like, she doesn't live far from me, she'll walk the dog round, it's called Ashbyville, it's like a big pond, listening to our podcast.
Aww.
And I didn't get over that for like at least 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's quite a big deal, isn't it?
It is. Then when you look at the figures, we do have quite a lot of listeners. I think it is quite cool. And every time I log into like the stats and stuff, and particularly, because it only shows, I think, for a few platforms, not all of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's thousands.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
We get a bit of pull right now.
I remember being so excited with our first 100 downloads, and it's like we got to 100 now. We're like, I think we're way over 10,000.
Not to flex.
Yeah.
I remember the first one like it was yesterday. I do. It's nostalgia.
I don't. I can't actually remember what we talked about in the first.
It was the sniffing. Someone was cleaning the house. They were sniffing someone out, a famous sports star's shirt or something.
Yeah. No, I do remember.
I remember that. To be fair, you've heard all of them before, haven't you? It sticks out to me, that one. It's a lot of people's favourite episode, you know that?
A lot of people do what?
Favourite episode. People mention that to me, like the sniffing. And
so all we've done is get worse. We haven't actually, in the 30, 40 episodes that we've done, we haven't actually got any better.
We peaked so early.
We peaked in our first episode.
Anyway, after that first episode.
In your excitement.
Yeah, I go down to the car park, I get in my car, I turn my music on, not too loud. I can still remember the song I had on as well. And I start reversing.
See, now all I'm hearing is the Chemical Brothers song
Go.
while I'm imagining this situation. So I watched Apex this week,
Oh,
and now I
God.
cannot stop listening to
Good
Go by
song.
Chemical Brothers. So while I'm imagining this scene playing out, you are playing Go in the car.
And
That's
I'm
what
going
I'm
like
hearing.
that, giving it a bit of head movement, yeah? So I'm to reverse, and I'm flying back. I'm not flying back. I reversed at a reasonable speed. The car park at the studio is fairly small, so like you can reverse one car at a time, I think. Just about. And I reversed.
I mean, if you're, for any people who are watching, obviously, if you're reversing your car like this, we have a problem.
Yes.
But go on.
I'm a borrower. But yeah, I was reversing and I inadvertently struck the car behind me, which was parked. I didn't notice it. It pipped a bit too late. Like it pipped literally as I hit the car, which is still my fault, obviously. The person in the other car was our beloved Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn, the producer. She's not here today. She's at home. But yeah, I accidentally reversed into, it was the front of Dawn's car. I stopped on impact, but yeah, it was a bit of initial panic. I'm on work premises. Does it matter? Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. I am at work.
Yeah.
How am I liable? We'd sorted it out in the end. Used a bit of tea cut and that. But we just thought it'd be a good little topic to discuss.
Accidents at work.
Accidents at work, of course, yeah.
When you hit your colleagues with your car.
Yes. There wasn't much damage, luckily.
I remember when you two rang me after that. And I was like, oh, for God's sake. Because I'd already left. I think I was maybe on the way back to Wales or back to the office. Oh, no, went back to the office.
Yeah,
and you came in and you were like,
yeah,
we've had an accident.
Sorry.
Ollie hit me with his car.
The fact we rang you is hilarious if we expect you to do anything. Like
I was like, I remember like head in hands talking to Michael about it and be like, for God's sake. I left you both unsupervised for 5 minutes.
There's not that much like age difference between you and me. Odd like you and Dawn, but like the gap in maturity is crazy. The fact we rang you like, Alyssa, what do we do? Like you can't really do anything, but
No.
granted. Let's go into some questions.
You do both treat me like the adult in the room.
You are the adult in the room. But yeah, enough about my inadequacies.
So accidents at work.
Accidents at work.
And we're not going to do this from a health and safety perspective necessarily. We're going to talk about it from a HR perspective.
Yes.
Because I think when we talk about accidents at work, when we have incidents, automatically I think there's almost that, oh, it's not a problem, it's a health and safety issue. But invariably it does often fall with HR. One, to manage what's gone on, what's happened, make sure relevant paperwork's filled out, notifications, all the rest of it. Potentially take legal advice. In terms of then any measures that might need to be taken around risk assessments or changes in the workplace, you may bring in some health and safety expertise to do that, but it still does rest generally with HR when we talk about this sort of thing.
So it was justified that we rang you?
I don't think you were ringing me in my capacity as HR. It felt like you were ringing your mother and being like, I've done something stupid.
Push my car. Yeah, it did feel like that. Yeah. That's why I did it.
But I think also it's, did it happen at work? Well, yes, it did. We were in the middle of a working day. We'd come out in cars to go to a venue. Okay, it wasn't our workplace, but yes, it's still, I would say, something that has happened at work. Had you not been working, the two of you wouldn't have been in a car park with your cars. So I'd say that's probably the first question here for maybe lay people. And it's a bit like, and this is not me doing a sales plug. It's actually, in my head, this is a natural bridge. For you, it's going to sound like a leap. Sexual harassment. Yeah, your face is going, you are leaping. The first question often that I get asked around sexual harassment is people go, I get it, I get the principle, but what if it happens in the pub, a work party?
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Work stuff. So when we are talking about work contexts around things like that, first natural question when something happens off the premises, is it still work? Same with sexual harassment, same with health and safety. Is one of the first natural questions that we'd ask around this. So I would have classed this as workplace. And immediately for me as an employer, I'm going, is there any liability here? Because health and safety is just a world of liability. There's lots of risks for employers. If we end up with injuries, serious injuries, death, there are potentially criminal measures that can be taken against directors of a business, huge fines. You can end up in magistrates or Crown Court. Yeah. So we're out of employment tribunal with this stuff when things go wrong. And when I was a baby lawyer, when I was a trainee, I worked in a health and safety department in a corporate law firm where you are looking at serious industrial accidents, death at work, HSE, so health and safety executive investigations. So you're working with the employer in relation to these investigations. And they're difficult for employers. You know, they can be quite traumatic in terms of the extent and what they look into. So while health and safety and incidents like that are often treated with a bit of an eye roll, in the same way that you talk about like data protection and tax, health and safety kind of sits into those conversations where people go, oh God, the world's gone mad, health and safety. The implications for employers when it goes wrong, where there's incidents at work, can be quite serious. So when you two walked into the office and you're like, oh, we've crashed our cars into each other, I was like, this is going to be the worst day.
Not a lot of context was applied initially. I think we just panicked.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a big deal.
No, I think it was just a fender bender, wasn't it? But it was your fender that got bent, not Dawn's.
Yes. I did the bad thing, but I got damaged more.
Yes. Yeah, which makes me far more comfortable.
Yeah.
Than if you damaged Dawn's car. Yeah.
My fault, I suffered. Karma worked its way in there.
Yeah.
You brought up an interesting point there about like taking health and safety seriously. Obviously, we don't have many potential like serious physical dangers in our workplace. But a few mates of mine who've been on steelworks in Scunny, they've mentioned like people literally just falling off cranes and like just dying. And they don't blink because it happens more often than you think.
And in some sectors, serious and catastrophic injuries at work, death at work are, I'm not going to say routine, but like you say,
almost expected.
It's not unusual. So farming, serious injuries, it's one of the industries where you are most likely to be physically maimed.
Yes.
Dealing with heavy machinery, often unguarded machinery, often working solo. So my husband has suffered a couple of quite serious injuries where he's fallen on in near machinery. I keep a tourniquet in my car.
Oh,
and his.
Really?
Because of his propensity to injure himself.
That's serious?
Yeah. Oh, he's chainsawed his knees twice. Yeah. Not at the same time. He did one.
What do you mean?
So he put he caught himself in the leg with a chainsaw, not wearing chainsaw trousers, right?
That's a thing.
That is a thing. Chainsaw trousers are a thing.
It should.
So it stops you cutting your own leg off with a chainsaw. Yes. I don't think he even went to A&E. I think he went to like minor injuries or the local
GP.
I don't think he went to the GP.
I've
but
seen him all.
between GP and A&E, where they like stitch the knee back up and give it a clean. Thankfully, I hadn't gone that deep. And then they were like, chainsaw trousers, don't do this again. He was back in 2 weeks later. He'd done the other leg.
Same thing.
Yeah.
How deep did he get?
Pretty deep. Like, I mean, he didn't sever like bones or like major arteries, but like, chewed up some skin. Yeah.
God,
it was,
he didn't notice for a bit. He's gone in and gone, that's fine.
And then I can't remember how many years ago it was. So we used to do a lot of agricultural contracting. So big machinery that gets pulled behind tractors where they dig up the soil, they cut the grass and do all sorts of big farming things. He fell into one of the machines and it had this like pointy metal thing like that, which went straight under his kneecap. I heard a scream from the house like someone had been stabbed. Actually, this should come with a trigger warning. Blood gushing everywhere.
That's awful.
Yeah, so I'm like belting it to A&E with him in the car.
Did you take it out?
Oh no, so it was part of the main machinery. So he was able to pull himself off it. This is why we have a tourniquet in the car now.
Yeah. Makes sense.
We get to A&E and him being the whole, I'm mega tough, just clean it and stitch me up. And I'll have to show you the video afterwards because I actually videoed this because I'm sick in the head. So as the doctor's kind of lifting up various parts of his knee and getting in there to give it a clean at the back. So I'm like, can you just move this way so I can really get in there and film this? And so he'd offered my husband general anaesthetic and he's like, no, don't need it. Just like get in there, clean it.
No.
So he lifts his knee, gets in there with like a little thing and he just pokes the back of the inside of his knee. The scream that came out of him could have emptied A&E, at which point he promptly agreed to the general anaesthetic and he was like, yes, you may put me under.
Please.
Because they had to essentially disassemble the inside of his knee to clean it. Because we fall on farm machinery, there's all kinds of
You don't know what's on that, do you?
whatever,
You know what's on that.
So to disassemble the knee, clean it out, put it all back together. stitch it
Tetanus?
back
Could be
up.
tetanus. You don't
I
know,
have
do
no
you?
idea. Yeah. So farming, very high risk.
Oh
But also, like you say, when your friends don't bat an eyelid, I'm like an inch away from this with my camera phone going, can you just move your hand that way, please, doctor, so I can get in there and really see what's going on.
That's vile. The whole oh God. It's a much less, but on holiday I did my foot. Like I got cut on my foot from kicking some coral. And it was quite deep, only a little cut, but it were about, and it went to maybe, she said it went about an inch in. It were in Thailand. And she put she went in to clean the wound, and even that,
So accidents do happen.
Trauma.
And these are like things that are individual responsibility. The difference is when something happens at work, often there is potentially some liability. So where you've got someone who is doing something that's technically stupid, but it's an established way of doing something and the employer hasn't stopped people doing things in that way. So say, for example, you've got someone climbing up some unguarded ladders, leaning over into open machinery with no guardrails, without a spotter, without a banksman, without cameras on them. They're leaning into something that's got a very low guardrail. They trip up, fall in and injure themselves. Yes, it's probably a stupid way of doing it, but by allowing people to do it in that way for years and it's become custom and practice, the employer is liable for that stupid behavior.
Right, okay.
So if that person seriously injures themselves, if you did it at home, you'd be like, well, this is my own stupid fault for doing something and not appreciating that I should have had better safety measures in place. If we do it at work, unless we're not following management instructions and we're doing things that are actually contrary to an employer's instruction, there's potentially significant liability.
That's a dangerous thing, innit? Because he can just go, oh, you didn't tell me otherwise. Fine. Or I want money out of you, sort of thing.
Yeah. But it's why when we see signs like, I don't know, I think when you drive up into, it might be McDonald's, I don't know. And they're like, if you order a hot drink, it's going to be really hot. Because if you spill it on yourself and you weren't expecting that your tea was going to be hot. And it's, you get all these urban myths online. And I think actually the Health and Safety Executive has an urban myths page, because you get things all over social media where someone says, oh, you can't do that because of health and safety. The Health and Safety Executive will be like, no, it's nothing to do with health and safety why you can't do that. And they will break the myths apart. So actually it's really, I'll see if I can find the link and we can drop it in, because it's actually a really entertaining page for the health, as far as health and safety goes. It's very entertaining, but it's like a bit of a myths plus page. Or they used to have one anyway. But where HR come into this is where we've got things maybe where there's near misses. People should be reporting near misses. So if something small happens or nearly happens, we should be reporting these things. This all needs to be collated somewhere.
It's normally a book, It's normally like a near-miss book type thing.
Near miss and accident book, things like that. Is we need to be identifying where we are getting near misses, where there are small-scale accidents. Well, what processes need to be reviewed here? Do we need to bring in someone with some health and safety expertise to look at what we are doing? Do we need to have senior managers looking at our setup, our layout, our process, or our safety measures? Because if we have near misses, if we have small minor incidents, and then something big happens, and it looks like we have ignored the warning signs, and someone has a very serious injury or there is a death at work, we're going to be getting into a lot of trouble.
Oh, yes.
So it's really, really important from a HR perspective that we are documenting these things, but not just that we're documenting it and leaving it on a system. I nearly said leaving it in a drawer then, which would have shown my age. We're not leaving them in drawers anymore, leaving them on a system. We've got to do something with it.
Yeah, of course.
So whether we are tracking these metrics in certain ways, how we're reporting on it, it's no good if the Health and Safety Executive come in and we go, look, we wrote down about all these incidents. Look how good we were.
Don't show you the ones you missed. Though,
and they're like, well, it doesn't show the ones that are missed. But then they go, and then what did you do when you had 8 near misses all in the same part of the business? Did that not flag to you that something perhaps needed to change?
It's evidence to the contrary, isn't it? It's evidence to say, like, we should have changed, but we didn't. I was going to go against the business in any form.
But don't go full circle with that thought and go, don't document things, because that would be even worse. I can see where you were going with that. And there was like a light bulb came on. You're like, I've hacked health and safety. Don't write anything down.
Have we had anyone on for health and safety recently?
Yeah, we did. So it was while I was in hospital when you guys all covered for me. We had a guest series and we had Simon from Big Mountain.
He had a hoodie on. I remember it now. And I was with Michelle.
Yeah.
I was with Michelle and we spoke to him. So I've had someone on for health and safety. God, it shows what I retain, doesn't it? But luckily, I don't really need to remember this stuff, do I? No.
I mean, if you have another accident at work, I'd prefer it if you do. But
of course. Luckily, we didn't have to ask these sort of questions. But in this situation, who should I have theoretically gone to first? You or an insurance company?
Technically, if you have a road traffic accident, you have to call the police.
That seems like
I'm not a criminal lawyer, but I'm pretty sure, and I stand to be corrected by criminal lawyers on this. Where's my camera? Over there. I stand to be corrected by criminal lawyers or whatever on this. And whether, again, this is just old law school knowledge or a myth, I'm pretty sure that every RTC has to be, so road traffic collision, has to be reported.
You're getting terrible with these acronyms, you.
I know.
Really?
Turning into Michael Mitchell. I'm
so many board meetings.
I'm pretty sure that you have to report every incident to the police.
Oh.
So first phone call, technically, should be the police.
Right. But we shouldn't have, really, should we?
Oh, I'm not a criminal lawyer.
No,
so though maybe if this is private land, maybe there's our get out of theoretical jail
on Alex Young,
on that one.
the studio manager, doesn't it?
And then in terms of who you report to next, I mean, insurance company, I would say if it's me personally, I'm ringing the police. I'm probably going to ring my insurance company. If I'm an employee, I'm taking care of myself in this situation. Employers will often have policies around things like this if you're in a company vehicle. Say, for example, you have crashed on the side of the road, call the police. That you'll be expected to take photographs of the scene.
Okay.
So you see where the cars are, any impact, because the days of pre-camera phones, so again, showing my age, where these policies, you'd have usually like a book in the car that would have a car outline so that you could draw what had happened because you didn't have a camera phone. So that it was contemporary. I know, what a world that was.
Draw a picture.
Draw a picture of show me on the diagram where you got the ouchie on the car. So taking pictures of the scene. Generally, people are told not to admit a liability at the side of the road and things like that. But it's making sure that other side has insurance details. So you're getting insurance details, you're getting information, taking pictures of what's happened. For me, I'm always going to be wanting to promptly report to the insurance company because if you leave things too long, you don't tell them at the right point, you can sometimes invalidate cover. So if it was a company car, you may not have the insurance details to hand. So it's ringing the company, something has happened. I've had an accident. Can you notify the insurance company? If it's you personally, obviously I can't give personal legal advice on these things, but I'm, prompt with insurance notifications because what you don't want is insurance company going, you were 6 minutes too late letting us know, therefore we're not paying out. Or whatever excuses that might get given.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, police, if it's company car, ring the company. They will usually inform the insurance company unless the policy says different. So depending on the system that your company uses, often where there's fleet vehicles or large fleets, you may well have some sort of case management system or app where your vehicle is tracked, your mileage is tracked, your receipts are tracked, and also there might be, in the event of an incident, push here.
Report.
And there's a checklist to fill out with, have you done this? Have you taken photos? Here's the insurance company. Push here to notify insurance company, things like that. So things have moved on a long way since I ever studied anything like this. And I suspect tech has, particularly for company cars and fleet arrangements, taken over a huge amount of it. But and if in doubt, ring the company and go, something has happened. What do I do? And generally they'll talk you through what you
I
need
have
to do.
recently been on the other end of this as well. I don't know if you can remember, I got a Tesco delivery van reversed into the side of my car. I had like a Volkswagen Touareg courtesy car for like 2 weeks at work.
Right. Oh, I don't remember that.
But it was my first ever time at the age of 32 driving a courtesy car.
Oh,
Really weird experience.
really?
Yeah, I didn't like it. But that's just the car. The whole process was interesting. I got a letter in the post from the company who handles it on behalf of Tesco.
Yeah.
Filled out a form, sent it off. They emailed me saying, this is the nearest place to your work.
Yeah.
So it was like literally on this estate where I got my car from. It was like round the corner. But yeah, that was like proper. Like they handled that proper. I'd imagine that's what the process would look like.
Yeah.
They're a big entity.
That just made me think. I mean, this is just turning into a bit of a pod where we just talk about personal recollections. But one of my favourite. So people, when you're a lawyer, people often ring you for advice on things that you can't give advice about. However, you do get some entertaining stories. So usually they'll be like, "Can you help with this?" I'm like, "No, but show me the video anyway."
Tell me.
And it was a friend of mine at home who they'd had a delivery driver come and drop some stuff off. He'd got out of his van, left the door open, gone to deliver the parcel, but clearly hadn't put the handbrake on. And it was on a hill. And there was a car at the bottom of the hill. And you see, so it's like it had been set up. If I hadn't known it was real, you'd think it was fake. Because everything is front and center in the camera. You can see everything like it's been arranged that way. And this van starts rolling and the guy starts running.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why he's running. I don't know what he thinks he's going to do. And he literally gets to the back of it and it's like, you're not going to stop this van. And it hits the vehicle at the bottom. And my friend was like, what do I do with this? And that's my car. And I was like, well, the company that's delivered is written all over the side of that van. I suggest you send them that video and wait for the response from, it won't even be a legal team. It will probably be an insurance company writing you a check.
That's exactly what I got.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's hilarious.
But you see people in a moment of panic. And actually, I think there is a good health and safety point here, is the number of people, and I think there is a statistic somewhere of people who get run over by their own cars. And from a lifeboat capacity, we had a very, very tragic job that unfortunately ended in a fatality. You'd wonder why it's lifeboat, but it was off on an island near where we are. with people getting crushed, hit, run over by their own cars. But in this one, you could see it with this driver. He's running to try and get to the back of the van. Human beings cannot, with body weight, stop rolling vehicles on an incline.
The world's strongest men struggle with that.
Yeah.
And then they drag him like
yeah. Can't do it.
Blowing.
Don't go and run behind a moving car to try and stop it. It's not going to happen.
My reaction, if it happened to me, I'd try getting and put the brake on, if anything.
But imagine if you miss that jump, getting inside the car.
Yeah.
You're going to get run over by the front wheels. Like, it's not going to happen. And what are you going to achieve? You may well, say you get half in, you're going to break your arm or whatever. It's going to crash into some. Everyone hopefully is insured, otherwise you shouldn't be on the road.
It is dangerous. Have you ever nearly done that?
No. And I've felt the
go.
Yeah, and it's that knee-jerk reaction thinking, I need to do this. And that's where so many accidents cause, and not just with cars. It's that your brain, for some reason, tells you, go and this is how you can fix this situation. And it's a split-second decision that can cause a huge amount of harm. So often in a situation, it's better to just take a breath. Don't just dive in. It's the same with HR principles and things like that. I'll often say before difficult conversations, before we go into processes, if someone says something that's going to set us off, just take a breath and think. And the same in health and safety situations. If we feel like something bad's about to happen, if we've seen something happen, it's just take that breath, calm down for a second, allow your brain to process it before we then go and do something that can't be taken back.
Absolutely. Closing thoughts, as ever, what measures do you think HR can take to prevent these things happening in the future? Accidents in the world. It's a difficult one, that.
You can't always stop accidents, but the key thing here, I think, is a really strong reporting culture around near misses and smaller incidents, but making sure we do something with that data. Just collecting it isn't enough, so that we've got visibility over where our potential risk points are. I imagine it that, like, imagine you map out your company. Every time you have a near miss or an incident, it's like a heat map. And if you think the more things that are happening in one particular area, things are going to start going very, very red. Well, that needs something happening there. So have your heat map of your business. Think about, well, if things keep happening, what process do we need to put in place? Do we need to bring in an expert? Do we need to bring in someone who knows what they're talking about with health and safety? Because it's probably not your employment lawyer or HR. And make sure we're acting on the data rather than just collecting it.
Well, the last question is, how awkward would the next shift or podcast recording be for me? But it weren't. Because I went and got some tea cut and it was only a little scratch.
Yeah, I think if you damaged Dawn's car or injured her, it may well have been.
If I'd have injured Dawn, I'd have felt guilty.
You'd have been in trouble.
Yes, I would have been in trouble. But I don't think...
Was it an icy day? Was that ice that day?
No, mate. No, mate. Don't even try and get me out of it. It was like it is now. Just like a fair day.
Right.
Like maybe 10 degrees. Like visibility was pretty good in the car park. It's tiny.
I mean, but I'd say if it was a situation where something had actually happened, allow people to cool off, talk to them individually. If you think it needs a sit down with someone just to talk things through. Yeah. All the good human resources, all the good Michelle stuff.
Yes. Talk to Michelle.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dawn was pretty understanding about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Didn't hold it against me.
Good.
Thank you, Dawn. Excellent. Thanks for your time, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Cheers. Until next time, we're your hosts signing off from HRER. Take care of your HR and may your workplace be disaster-free. Before we go, a big thank you to you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have your own ER stories or suggestions for future episodes, reach out to us at Heroes or on social media, or even hrer@heroes.co.uk. As we navigate the maze of workplace blunders, remember that no organisation is perfect, but by sharing these stories, we can all work towards creating healthier, happier and more productive workplaces.